and geopolitical competition.
Very well. You provide us a comprehensive overview of the interrelations between energy sources and the renewable sources.
Exactly.
Yes. Can we know what is your introduction about?
The paper or
yes.
the research is about economic security. We consider it as a key to stability and prosperity of countries and societies. In today's highly interconnected global landscapes, protecting critical supply chains and basic needs from distribution is a central object.
Yes.
This presentation explores the definition of energy security and geopolitical competition and the relationship between them. And the key
in your definitions, you use many resources
exactly, yes.
from international organizations.
Yes.
We need to know what is these organizations and
Of course.
In details. Of course. Yes.
Can you next slide? Thank you. Energy security, there has, as you mentioned, Dr.
Yes.
Nusrin,
Yes.
many or a number of definitions.
Mm-hmm.
The first one I took is the UNESCWA, which stands for the United Nations Economic and Social.
You give us many extensive definitions, and that's a good work for you, Munia, and excellent. These definitions, you base it on the international organization.
Exactly.
What is this organization? We can hear it.
Of course.
Yes.
One from the United
IEA. What is that meaning to the student? What is the meaning IEA?
IEA is the International Energy Agency, which is a wide organization that specialized in energy and distribution the energy among the countries or societies. Yes. We can
the first one and the most important one, International Energy Agency, about, because the title of the paper is about energy resources.
Exactly.
What is the meaning of UNESCWA? We call it in Arabic ISCWA. To the student, what is the details of the ISCWA?
The ISCWA is the United Nations Economic and Social Commission for
yes.
Western Asia.
Yes, very well.
And for the OSCE, which is stands for Organization for Security
yes.
and Cooperation in Europe.
And Europe, Western and Europe.
Exactly.
Asia, Western Asia. Yes.
So,
what is the next organization we're talking about? OSCE,
which is
having, what is the mission of it?
Organization
yes.
For Security and Cooperation in Europe.
Finally, you're talking about the International Energy Agency.
Exactly.
Yes.
The definition from the International Energy Agency for energy security is
yes.
the uninterrupted availability of energy sources at unaffordable prices.
That's a very clear conception framework. Go ahead, Munia.
Thank you. There have been also several definitions when it comes to the academic wording of energy security.
This most important section. I need you to explain it in details to the student in the class.
The academic frameworks, the 4 A's. What
yes.
do we mean by the 4 A's? The 4 A's stands for the availability, affordability, accessibility, and acceptability. Exactly. Those 4 definitions came from academic and scholars and policymakers. They didn't come from, like, we can say, organizations, as
yes.
we mentioned before.
Yes.
When we're talking about energy security, we need to understand what exactly the availability means. It means ensuring energy supplies are available in sufficient quantities.
Can you explain to us each of one of them?
Of course. The availability, what we mean here is each single person in any country needs to have access or available access of energy security at all times.
Yes.
But also in sufficient quantities. What do we mean here by sufficient quantities? We mean it's sufficient. How do we say?
We say in Arabic الكفاءة أو الفاعلية. فاعلية المورد، إنه هل هذا المورد يحتوي على فاعلية وكفاءة بالنسبة لاقتصاد الدولة؟ هل هذا المورد ممكن إنه يحقق كفاءة؟
Exactly. For the affordability, here we're talking about ensuring resources are available at price low enough for all users.
These resources available or not to the economy.
Exactly.
Yes.
And also for the people and the citizen. By the end of the day, when we're using the energy security or we're using renewable security, we need to make sure that
Can
the
you
people
give
can afford
examples on the Iraqi economics? Case study? One of them?
Of course.
Yes.
Here in Iraq, we don't have enough resources to generate electricity. So what we do is we get them from neighborhood countries, for
Yes.
example, from Iran, from whomever.
Yes.
Even though we do have oil, we do have very important resources
To the economy,
to the
activities.
but by the end of the day, we cannot generate it
Yes.
because we don't have the enough expertise, I would say, and we don't have the
Or the
enough,
problem in our policies.
Of course, yes. So we talked about the affordability. Now
Yes.
we will move to the accessibility, ensuring all citizens have access to energy through reliable infrastructure.
Yes.
What do we mean here?
This is most important, Munya. We need to explain it. What is the reliable infrastructure in this paragraph?
Reliable infrastructure means me as a country,
Yes.
I do have the enough and the solid and strong
Very well.
structure
Yes.
for me to
Yes.
keep my energy or to keep the energy security.
In the future. Maybe.
Of course.
Maybe in the future.
Yes.
Yes.
Now we move to the accessibility,
Yes.
minimizing negative environmental and social impacts such as pollution.
Yes.
What do we mean here is, do we accept our own energy? For example, when we work on exporting oil.
Why giving me examples? Or why give us examples
On pollution?
Yes.
Because here in Iraq we do
What is
have
the negative?
environment.
We can say on the environment.
On the environment, it affects everything.
Yes.
It affects the human being, it
Very well.
affects the plants, it
Yes.
affects the water.
The water. Yes.
For example, in Basra,
Very well.
you can see and notice from their medical research and resources, the cancer number is very,
Yes.
very high because of the oil.
And the environment of
Exactly, and the environment as well.
Yes.
Now we
Go on.
move to the geopolitical competition.
Yes.
As a definition, the geopolitics is a study of how geographic, economics, and demographic influences state politics and foreign policy. In the context of energy, it refers to the competition.
What's the relationship between foreign policies and the competitions or the energy resources? What is the
It's
relationship between them?
It's very connected because
How?
by the end of the day,
Yes.
for geopolitics competition to be implemented in
Yes.
today's world, we are
Yes.
focused about the energy
How
and
it
energy
affected?
resources.
How it affected?
It affects through
On the
controlling.
policies, on the politicas, or the state politicas, how it affected?
It affected by controlling the energy resources and the solid materials
Yes, very well.
to generate electricity
Yes.
or any kind of energy.
Can you give examples for any conflict?
Russia,
Russian,
Ukraine,
Ukraine,
yes.
very well. Your examples here in your papers about Ukraine and Russia
Exactly.
conflicts, and give us the details about this conflicts. Yes,
Do you want me to explain it now, or we can move to
we can move. Energy security,
the
energy and international economic security.
exactly? This is the connection between how we're talking, or what does it mean for energy and international economic security.
Yes.
Energy security is the backbone.
Our course in this year about international economic
Exactly.
security. This is the most important topic in the paper. What is the relationship between energy and international
National
economic security? That's our topic.
Exactly.
Yes.
Energy security is the backbone of economic stability and growth. Recent global crises, like the
Yes.
conflict between Russia and Ukraine,
Yes.
have shown how energy supply distribution can trigger price hikes and social unrest. Energy is the fundamental engine of economic activity. Capital and labor
Yes.
cannot be productive without it. By the end
How
of
does this disruptions affect on the economic security?
it affects in a very major way. We took here the example of
You give a simple
yeah,
information cannot be productive without it.
exactly.
Why?
Because having control over energy source and it affects the international economic security. We took here example of the Russian and Ukraine case when the EU was the main source of gas was coming from Russia. So when the invasion happened, Russia, what did it for Russia? It was the gas was available, but for the EU it was standing against their, let's say, their principles. So they had to lower their income coming from Russia and having alternative resources such as the US or any other countries that provides the gas.
What is table to us? Give us.
We needed to understand more and
this is a comparison between what?
Exactly. The
this comparison between renewable or traditional energy?
But based on categories, six categories. We took the environmental impact, cost over time, reliability and consistency.
Can you explore each of one?
Of course. The environmental impact. When we're talking about renewable energy, it generates little to no greenhouse gases. Technologies like solar plants and wind farms produce electricity without harmful emissions.
You give examples of green transitions in the European.
Exactly.
You give us a case study in your paper.
Yes. For the traditional energy.
Why? Can I ask you why?
For the why the EU?
Why the United Union transitions to this energy and leave the fossil fuels?
Fossil fuels.
Yes.
The European Union has been working for several years to trying to find alternative for the fossil fuel because of the environmental dangers and because of the switching. By the end of the day, we cannot say the fossil fuel will stay here forever.
What?
To the clean energy.
Yes.
Making the pollution less.
And reducing dependence on the fossil fuels.
Exactly. Yes. Because they don't have it. When I don't have enough resources, I need to find an alternative. So that's the.
Is that related with the geopolitical?
Of course it is. Yes, definitely. Because when we're talking about the European Union, when they do not have enough resources to access the fossil fuel, they need to find an alternative for them to use a green or let's say clear energy or energy.
European states depend on the fossil fuels on what state?
Sorry?
On the Russia or what? Depend on the resources.
For the European Union,
yes,
they were depending on Russia
because of the wars. What is the results? What is the
because of the by the end of the day, the European Union, the Russia and Ukraine invasion Ukraine affected the European Union. The prices of energy was high.
Is that enhance prices stability in their resources to the Union States? Is that enhanced price stability in their resources?
In their resources, when they counted on renewable energy, yes. But if they didn't know,
if they make it economic security,
yes, definitely. The renewable energy is considered now a major role to be working as a major resource.
It face any challenges or not?
Definitely.
This way.
Definitely, they do have challenges, and until this day, they need to come up with the new techniques that faster
and so expensive.
Exactly, it's a bit expensive because by the end of but at the same time, the investments that took place in 2024 for the renewable energy was higher than traditional energy, which was one of the main things, or we can say one of the major things that
if we compare the comparison
between
resources. To cost over time, talking about this, paragraph. Reliability and consistency.
Sources like wind, solar, and
wind and solar energy. You give us this as example in your papers.
Yes, correct.
Why you mention them?
Because it's
solar and wind energy.
Because it's endless. You can use them.
And the most important renewable energy.
Exactly.
Solar and wind energy, the most important renewable energy. Yes.